Like it wasn't. How can I put this into words? And a long story short. Like he was great and all. Like I learned so much from him. It's just I don't know. There was other coaches in the group that I related to more and really like dug deep into my case more. I feel like my mentor was just like so about himself and other businesses he was doing, and he was kind of just looking at this like a job, which is his job, but he wasn't really getting like involved in his students compared to like some of the other coaches. And I found this out just because like I went to a business event and met a bunch of different people in the group, and we created a group chat. It was like 30 of us. We kind of just were chatting, sharing opinions. But anyhow, it was good for what I needed during that time, and now I feel like I need somebody who can really just like take me to the next level. And I want somebody in my niche because that niche was like for cleaning businesses specifically.
Yep.
I need something for power washing.
Yeah, I would see who you could find that I would see who you could find that would is specific, trade specific.
That's a good question after you flip up.
No, go.
What? Like, so recently, like, I kind of been like, I'll just be straight honest. Taking advantage of the fact that I don't have to be out in the field and working or taking the calls, and I've been kind of lazy.
Hey guys, just a heads up. I'm live streaming on YouTube, so just be careful what you say.
I got it. I've been lazy, but I've been getting back in my groove lately. So yeah. I guess my question is like, what makes you keeps like when you're not in that state of mind of being motivated?
Yeah.
Like what makes you keep going? I don't know. And I kind of know the answer to this question is kind of just like, you know, you got to work hard regardless. Like just get the freak up, wake up early, work out, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, get the mind right.
Yeah.
You know, go get that money. But some days it's just like, you know, let me share a little bit more. Because there's a thing called momentum, right? And when you have momentum built, you just really, you know, you're like excited for the next day. You're like, yeah, I got all this momentum built. Like, man, we're really killing it. Like, blah, blah. You know, my position in the business has switched tremendously this year.
Yeah.
I went from taking calls, being in the field, to not doing any field work at all and not taking any calls anymore.
Yeah.
Unless it's like commercial or I need to manage something or whatever.
Yep.
And I'm finding myself in a place where I'm like totally switching my role, and I need to go in on, you know, scaling the business. And I've gotten comfortable with where I'm at because I really am happy with all my success this year. Praise Jesus. But, you know, I need to put the throttle down because I have such an opportunity to do so.
Yeah. So my
question is like, really like, I don't really know what my question is. I'm kind of just telling you where I'm at. And the question initially was, you know, what helps you keep going when you're not feeling motivated, or you're just like, oh, I made enough money, you know, or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Haven't made enough money, but you know what I'm saying? Like, money's in the bank account, bills are paid, everything's running smooth. I had a lot of success. I don't know. It's just like, why not go harder, right? But a couple personal things happened too in the last month and a half. But anyways, long story short, there's a lot to be said there.
Yeah,
what
bro.
Keeps you motivated, I guess?
Can I say something?
Yeah, go.
Hey, I don't really have much to say, but I feel like Devin probably still need to do this more, but I just feel like you need to define like what your goal is. You know, because technically for somebody to get to a point where they're out of the field and they have a VA doing sales, so you really don't have to do a ton anymore. Like technically, if that's your goal,
You've hit your goal.
then there really isn't a reason to grow.
Right.
But I guess like what you have to ask yourself, like, is that your goal? Was that your goal?
Right.
If it wasn't, has it changed? And is it now? Is that all that you want? You know?
What was the goal? That's such a good question. I'm happy you said that because, you know, like, I guess now that I'm here and I've hit this goal, I didn't really have any intentions higher than like scaling more and adding a third or a fourth truck or whatever it might be. Honestly, realistically, in my mind, I didn't think I would get to this place. And, you know, now it's causing me to have to ask that question. That's a really good question because, like, what is my goal? What do I want to do? And, yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, like, do you want... Yeah, I think you have to, like, ask yourself, like, what do you desire in revenue? Do you want to be $1 million company?
No, I think it's bigger than that, bro.
Well, sure, but
Like money can't be the motivator.
Yeah, no, it used to be, but now it's not.
yeah, I just think that like even with at the level you're at, and I'm saying this as a much smaller company, so I get it, so take it for what you want, but like you've not made it. So I don't think that like not doing anything because you think you've made it is a good is a valid reason to not move forward. Just because like you're at a $300,000 a year, most like this year, right? The profit margin on that is like probably around 50%, maybe more. I don't really know, but I mean, you just haven't made it. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. No, for sure. For sure.
You want to build a company. You want to build a company really like over.
So
You want to sell the business eventually. I mean, more so stuff like that. I'm not just mainly saying that, you know, what's the goal in terms of money, but what do you want to do? For me, that like, I'm sure once I get to that point you're at, like, I'll also feel the temptation of just like, man, I could just sit here and enjoy this. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
it was just kind of like a dream in the back of my head, like sitting at home, not working, having the crews out, having somebody take all the calls. And now it's just like, well, there's a lot I need to do. There's a lot that I can do now, and you know, let's go.
yeah, so where I would challenge you is like you need to figure out what you want. Like I would put that on like absolute priority of your list. Like what do I want? Because like Clay said, to a lot of guys, where you're at is what they would want. And at one point where you're at is what you wanted. And then you recognize you're like, this isn't it. And so like I think to clearly put that in this perspective, I'll kind of share like a little bit of what I want, and it makes what I'm doing very clear. And what I would like, I don't know if it will ever happen, but it's just it would be something that I would want to build is I would love to have a company that employs like at least 100 people. And to be able to have a work environment that gets to change 100 people's lives on a recurring basis, or more. And I recognize, I'm like, there's a chance that probably won't be painting. And so it helps me to, okay, then what do I want to do with the painting company? Well, I'm going to continue to run the company. I'm going to give it everything that I have, be focused on it. I want to master every area of it, but I don't think, according to my goals, that this is the end all be all. Now, if we go on more of a macro and we look at, okay, then what is my goal for the painting company? I would say it would be to keep like 4 to 5 crews busy every day, 360 days out of the year. And I want to be at like, I want to be on the small spectrum. I want to be at like 2 to 5 million. On the big spectrum, if the painting company is the answer to that 100 plus employees, this and that, then I want to franchise and I want to be in multiple states, and then I want to be like a $50 to $100 million company. And then, so then it just helps me understand, okay, then this is the end goal. This is what I need to be racing towards. But if I don't see the finish line, then I don't know where I'm running. And I think you need to figure out, bro, like, what is the finish line, so that when you wake up in the morning, you can recognize I'm not there and I know what direction I need to run. Because it sounds to me like you wake up in the morning and you're like, I don't know what to do. I've reached the finish line.
Yeah, I've got so much I have in my to-do list that I can do, but it's like, no, totally. Like, I don't have bigger picture goals to make it like a super motivating thing again. I get what you're saying. Like, I need to have a driver. Because for me, I don't really know, like, if I want to have like 100 employees or something like that. Or like, I've been thinking a lot recently, like what my future looks like and what I want to do. Do I want to sell, build it more, start a different business? You know, what do I want to handle? Yada yada.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, and I'd like to. I mean, it's unrelated to business, but getting married and having kids.
Yeah, that's a big goal. That's something that's been a lot more on my mind lately too. Now that I'm getting a little older too. About to turn 28 this year.
Yeah.
I would like a wife and some kids for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's what motivates me every morning, bro, is I got a family to feed. So it's way bigger than myself.
So I think about that with you too. I'm like, that's a big driver for you, like, to just want to do more every single day too. And it could be a driver for me to just go harder, knowing that I don't have responsibilities and that I can just like go ham with the money I have, or 10x, you know, faster due to the conditions I'm in. There's both sides of like the motivation or whatever.
And I spoke to Clay about that. I'm like, brother, you have no responsibilities. Your guys' biggest downfall, and I don't mean just you guys, I mean anybody who doesn't have kids and a wife, I think your biggest downfall, your greatest, is that you don't have responsibilities, so you can take a lot of risk, but it's also it's also your biggest downfall. Is it's easy to get comfortable.
Exactly.
I never feel comfortable, bro. I never feel comfortable.
I thrive the most when I'm not comfortable.
Then you got to be spending a lot of money. No, I'm serious.
No, I agree.
Because let me ask you this, bro. If you were spending $300 a day on Facebook ads, or just $300 a day more on marketing, you would be probably a lot faster to answer that phone call, or to make that phone call, or to make sure that your systems were in place so you're not wasting $300 a day.
That's not a problem anymore, for sure. Like, everything's dialed. I'm not one. I will tell you, like, every call I get, I answer a text. I'm on it. I got automation set up now.
Nice.
And Moy answers every single call, so I don't let anything slip through the cracks. I used to spend hours just like going through messages and text message follow-up, but thankfully Claude has been helping out a lot lately with follow-up, although it's all Moy's job now. But yeah, no, totally. Like, I'm on it, bro. I could have a better system for acquiring leads in Facebook though, because I just don't simply know the best way. I have an idea of how to do it. Speed of lead, obviously, you need to get it connected, so you're like getting that lead right away, yada yada. You know all the tricks, but
yeah.
Yeah, I want to say that, like, I agree with having a big goal that's like a long-term goal, but we need practical steps that we understand and that are clearly laid out for us to be able to execute every day. So I feel like having a long-term goal, creates the necessity for having short-term goals. Like, I don't know what it looks like to wake up. I don't know what it involves me doing to wake up and take practical steps toward a $100 million business. Yeah. But I do know what it looks like to wake up and take practical steps toward, for me, becoming a $150,000 business, or 200, then 250, and 300. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, I think defining a long-term goal is good, and having that in the back of your mind that that's the end goal. But we also need to have, like, a clear practical step for a plan before us. So yeah. I think, like, if you're at 300,000, you're probably getting to that point where, like, you need to decide if you want to become $1 million company. You're on the road to $1 million. And then when you get to $1 million, you can decide, do we want to go to 3 to 5? And for 5, then you can start thinking, like, way bigger, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus.
Yeah, I have like a list of like 30 goals I have for 2026. Like, I'll just be honest, my problem recently is that I've been lazy and I need that bigger picture in mind, because I have goals written down. I got multiple to-do lists of things I need to do. I've just been a little lazy, laid back. Still doing the bare minimum. Still, getting good business success every week.
Yeah. And Clay, to me, like, so part of my coaching program is they want the big goal in order to execute the small goals. Like, they want to know so what they ask is, what have you been doing? Where are you at annually? And what do you need to do to hit what is your goal? Okay, my goal right now is I want to hit $1 million. And okay, you're at $500,000. I think I'm at like 600,000 or something. What do you need to do to simply add like what metrics would it take? And they have this program thing, whatever, where I put in my past numbers, how many estimates, what I'm spending, blah, 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 what I'm making, my closing rate. And then on the other side of it, I can tweak a few things to show what it would take to hit that, extra 20,000 a month, 40,000 a month, 50,000 a month. And typically it always starts with more leads. And then, but their thing is they want the whole body to be healthy. And so if the answer can never just be more leads, it should be, okay, yeah, we get more leads, but what are you doing with the leads you're getting now? How's your follow-up? How's your closing rate? Let's work on those things. And if you work on your closing rate, you get that up 10%. You work on your prices and you raise your prices 10%. And your follow-up rate is 20% better. Maybe you don't need an extra 15 leads a week. Maybe you can just get 1 or 2 leads extra a week, but your system is so strong that that's what will earn you that extra $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month. And you can play with these numbers to see what it takes to hit that bigger goal. And what I'm learning from this company is like, because I was talking the other day, I have a success coach. There's three systems that they have in the coaching. First is the accelerator program, where they just want you to get consistent, and they want your foundation to be crystal clear. Everything's nice and clean. You know your numbers down to the penny. How much is coming in? How much is going out? You have to be at least at a 50% profit margin on each job. And then once you get all that, they want to see that you can do that for at least 90 days. Consistently, week over week over week over week over week for 90 days. If you can do that in 90 days, then their offer is, hey, for $2,000 a month, we're going to coach you to hit or surpass the $1 million as a business, and you get XYZ with that. But their biggest goal is take care of the foundation. When the foundation's rolling and it's clean and everything's going good, then we want to get to that 1 million, 2 million plus. And then when you get to that, then the discussion is, how do we turn your company into a national company? And so I can see that their mindset for other companies, which I can assume is the same projection for their company, is, hey, here's the end goal. We would love to see your company be part of the National Painting Group, the NPG. We want, they incentivize it, because then they might make an offer to buy the company. Because if they know that your systems are in place, they know you're in a good location, they've coached you for the last 2 years, and your numbers are good, they'll probably make an offer on your business. And if you don't, then you join National Painting Group and you try to go national with your company. So they have this end goal, but it doesn't matter if you've been in business for 10 years. They want you to start at the accelerator program to ensure your foundation is, you could eat off of it. And everything's clean. Everybody knows their numbers. Your sales process is dialed down. Your marketing systems are dialed down. Everything is dialed down weekly. And then you move on from there. And I think the same thing, to me, what I'm seeing through this coaching program is, I feel like I could plug and play and almost any home service business or service business to some degrees into this program and you would pretty much get similar results. And the reason I know this is because Seth, a good brother in the Lord of mine, he just joined contracting.com, which is very similar, and he was sharing the curriculum, and it's almost identical to what I'm doing. And that's for all contractors: plumbing, HVAC, electrical, general contractors, handymen, painters, and the curriculum is almost exactly the same. And so I think the point is all about the systems. It's about knowing what is the big end result, what do you want, and then macro, knowing everything, and then what is it, and then knowing what it takes to get to that.
Yeah, dude. Amen. Yeah, I have like a monthly profit and loss sheet that my mentor gave to me. I don't do it every month. I try to, though. I could have more doing it, but yeah, dude, those systems are key for just like scaling. Just everything needs to be pretty from the foundation up.
Yeah.
And then we can start pushing.
Yeah, bro. I heard, I was listening to Alex Hormozy the other day, and please stop me if I was telling you this other day, Devin. But he was like, he's like, if I put Jenga blocks in front of you and I give you 5 seconds to build it, you wouldn't be able to really build anything. You'd just be stacking on top of it. But if I said you had 5 minutes, would you build it differently than you did in the 5 seconds?
Definitely.
And you would probably be slower with your foundation. If I give you 50 minutes, it would be different than the way you did it with 5 minutes. And so, a lot of us, we're trying to like build really, 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 really fast. And because of that, it usually hurts our foundation. And at some point when we do get correction, if we get to that point, we have to take steps backwards. And having